morning, viewers. Welcome to our FTV Supercook show. Today we'll be vying up from our norm, the 5 Alive series, and going into something new, our traditional dishes. Now you find out that Nigeria has a lot of delicacies from the north, south, east, west, and those meals are rich, nourishing, and so appetizing. So for the remaining 1 month or so, we'll be looking and practicalizing on our local delicacies. And I believe that as you go along with us, you're able to learn something new and incorporate it in your diet. Now it's good that we have these norms that we find people. Yes, it's good to try all these continental dishes, but we find out that our dish is so rich because most of the things we use in preparing our meals, they don't last so long in the refrigerator. And we all know that with the resetting of our times that we have right now, we need to eat more of dishes that will actually enhance our immune system. Now, if you look at the locality we are going to go through today, which is the Ibibio and the Anang, they eat a lot of vegetables, and most of their vegetables has a lot of antioxidants that helps in fighting free radicals. So today, while I will indulge you to just sit down a little and we'll take a little break, and then we'll come back together with you.
You already know. It's melody songs that have a producer.
Hi, we are now in the kitchen to prepare Atama soup. Now, basically, the two major ingredients in preparing a back Atama soup is the banga, that's palm kernel. What I did this today was to boil the banga, wash it very properly before boiling it, then you'll now pound it. Later on, we are going to sieve it and then remove the chaff so we can get the stock from the banga. The other chief ingredient is the atama. Now, I processed this, made them into a dry form. You can equally buy the fresh one, cut it, just dice them thinly, then you now use it. But you can also process it, make them, dry them, and then keep so that it can be easy for use at any time. Then apart from that, we also have our protein. We have cow head. One thing that is so peculiar with the Akwa Ibomites and the Crossivarians is that their food normally have a lot of short breaks. Thus, you are eating a particular soup, you have something to put in your mouth, pieces of fish, like this isam now. For some people, they call it pium pium. So you just cut the edge very well, thinly, not too much. Then you now wash it. You add it. So it helps in adding bulk, making that food to be expensive. So that's what it does in any soup you are preparing. Then we have our crayfish. Crayfish is very important. Akwa Ibom people don't joke with crayfish. When they are cooking, you will notice that they add a lot of crayfish to make the soup tastier. And that is why they give this adage that if you are doing your NYC maybe as a young man, you are doing your NYC in Akwa Ibom or Cross River State, you need to be very, very careful because the women can rope you in, you know, because of the food they prepare for you. Then we have onions, we have our seasonings, things like Maggi, we have our salt, then we have also fresh pepper. Then there's something also peculiar about this soup. There's a particular spice that we use. We call it uyayak. Now this spice has a beautiful aromatic smell. When you add it, you start preparing your food. Everywhere people will be perceiving that nice aroma. Very sweet and it's so aromatic. So now we want to start off. The first thing I need to do is to put my parboiled cow head in my pot. Then with my onions chopped, and then I'll also add the pepper, salt and some spices. So I'll start off with the onions now. So I just simply add my onions, add my cow head, a little quantity of water just to cover it better, and I add my fresh pepper. I love cooking with fresh pepper, although some people like dry pepper. The fresh pepper has this beautiful aroma whilst you are cooking. So I'll just cover up my pot, put it on fire. So while it's boiling, we'll now go over to prepare the banga stock. I'll divide the banga into two so I can easily wash it properly. Now we use warm water to wash the banga. Why? You know it's oil. So when you use the warm water, be able to remove the stock easily, unlike when you're using just pure cold water. Now I use little quantity at it, little water at a time, because I will wash the banga maybe for up to 2 times. Now you can see the banga, the stock is very thick, to show that this banga is of a good variety. So I'll just simply squeeze it off. Now you have to be very, very careful with your clothing, because it's oil and stain your clothing. Now one thing I noticed that is so peculiar about the Akabomite and the Kosivarians is that their meals take a whole lot of time when you are preparing it. Anything worth doing is worth doing well, because at the end of it all, when you eat their food, you notice that somebody actually spent time in preparing this food. So now you can see our stock is now ready. I'll now pour it inside the pot with the cow head. Careful when you are pouring. Beautiful. And I'll cover it up again. We'll allow it to boil. We need to add the uyayak inside the banga stock. Now, why do we need to add it now? It's because we want this banga, that's the uyayak, to get steeped into the banga stock, and at the same time drawing out the aromatic, aroma that we have in here. So for some persons, they will just simply take their knife, cut off this edge and then use this. But or you can also do this just like I did. I just use my mortar pestle, heat it a little, then I have these pieces. So I will now wash it and then I add it to the soup. You have to look for this uyayak and then bring it out so that somebody now will not see this as if it's a cow leg or the cow head and then eat out of it. It will be very, very bad. So you make sure that after cooking, try to bring this out. So just simply open the pot and then I add it. Oh, you can see how it's boiling. our banga stock, but it's still watery. So I now cover it up. So I'll now take it now and add it to our stock. Come and see the water now. See how it is. That's to show that I've properly washed my SAM very, very well. The water is transparent. I can see my SAM. Now another to also notice that the oil now is not coming up, separating from the stock of the banga. So at this period, I'm going to add all the other things I want to add, like my salt, my seasoning, and my crayfish. Add a little quantity of salt. Add a little pepper to it. Now you need to be very careful when you are adding pepper. Although this particular soup needs extra amounts of pepper, but you also need to be very careful when you are adding it. I'll cover it up. I like to boil. Now we can see what is happening here. Our soup is getting thicker. So at this stage I'm going to add the isam, and I also taste for salt. Do that gently. I want to test for salt now. It's okay. The pepper is okay also. I like to boil. Cover it up a little. Maybe the next 10 minutes. I will now add my fish. Want to add the fish now. Wow, the oil is coming up. You stir just a little gradually to check for the consistency. This is good. And you now add your fish to it. Now you can see why I say Akwa Ibom people. They're enjoying, you know, everywhere. As you put your eba or your pounded jam or oatmeal, you must jam break. And that's what makes the food very lovely. Some places you just be eating nothing, no. But here, Akwa Ibom people, they eat bits of fish, the pium, stockfish, the meat. The food will be going off, entering into the medulla oblongata, according to our biology students too. Now tell me, you go for NYC and somebody now prepare this thing for you, you will not go back to your Yoruba land though. So that's why parents will advise their children, they post them to Akwa Ibom or Cross River. Be careful oh, Akwa Ibom. Careful dada, as our Yoruba people will say. So we'll now like to boil a little. Then we'll now come and add the main chief ingredients, which is the Atama leaf. I'll leave it open. So the Atama, I will now drain it off. Atama leaf has a thickening consistency. Just like a wedu, but not as thick or gel-like like a wedu, but it has that little consistency. So I'll just allow it to drain, because very soon now we'll still add it to our soup. I like to drain for a while. Now it's high time we add our Atama leaf to our abak. Remember, we're preparing abak Atama soup, a special delicacy from Akwa Ibom State. Now, if you look rightly, you'll notice that the consistency is now thick and the oil is already flowing on top of the soup. So I will now add this to it. Spread it quietly and gently. I don't want to scatter my fish. I want it to remain whole. I like to boil just a little. You can see we have gotten the right consistency.
Alright, this is FTV Supercook with Uwa. So, what's the name of the food?
Abak Atama soup.
Okay, it takes you how many hours to prepare it?
About 2 hours.
2 good hours?
Yes, because you have to cut the isam, cut the Atama leaf. So all those ones, it takes that amount of time. And then before you now prepare the banga too, that's the banga stock for the soup. So that's what normally happens.
Because
but as a woman, I'm doing it out of love, so I will not mind the timing. Because seeing my husband healthy, my children healthy, I don't mind the hard work. And you know what? I don't want those side chicks to take it.
Alright, we've heard it from Uwa Umo on FTV Supercook. Today is a great day, and it's time to know the taste and the nutritious value of Abak Atama soup, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. The food is from which origin?
Akwa Ibom.
Akwa Ibom. Abak Atama soup.
Yeah.
So what's the nutritious value of it?
Okay, the nutritional value. You can see what we have there. The periwinkle or pium that we normally know is filled with iodine.
This one?
Yes, iodine. It's the other way. Let me see whether you can do it well. Yes, that's
it's
the
from
way.
this way?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So it contains
iodine.
Okay.
Yeah. Then we have the protein, that's the cow head, the dry fish, the stock fish, the smoked fish, dry fish, all protein. Then the gari you are using now as the accompaniment is carbohydrates.
Okay.
Then we have the banga itself, the oil. Then we have minerals like the vegetables, the vitamins. So you now notice that with the water that I use in preparing the stock, everything there that gives us the 6 classes of the food nutrients. So that makes it a balanced meal. So you can see that everything here is complete and the meal is balanced.
Okay, You said something about oil.
Yeah.
So, what's the nutrient or the mineral resources or the vitamin? Oil.
Okay, it has vitamin D.
Oil contains vitamin D,
D,
and
yeah.
vitamin D is good for, I think it's good
The
for
skin,
skin.
the bones.
Wow. This is delicious. In fact, very delicious. In fact, Abak Atama soup.
Yes.
See, as a Wafarian, let me make a tell you now for pidgin English. If you know the chop this food, you not follow the show. Follow mama, prepare this kind of food, give your husband, give your family the list. You have to join this show. Follow Uwa Umo on FTV Supercook for you to cook this kind of food. Abak Atama
Soup.
Only the name. Can you hear the name?
Abak.
Atama soup.
Yeah.
Alright, still on FTV Supercook, rolling it live with Uwa Umo.
Yes.
She's doing great. And you can follow her live on Silverbed, on FTV Talk Show, Fitness Talk Show TV live. She'll be cooking live there, and you can see her video there. Uwa Umo.
Well, viewers, it was lovely talking with you, and I believe that this experience that I've shared with you, you just have to take your time, prepare something good for your family, knowing that you are just trying to keep them healthy, not just for themselves but also for you, because when a loved one is sick, you notice that more especially as the woman, you'll be running helter-skelter, you will not have peace. But with this, you'll be able to take complete hold of your family. And remember, as I usually say, cooking is all about creativity. So no matter how long it takes for me, it's just like the artist. Take time, hours. By the end of it all, the artist is satisfied with what he or she has created. So also, if at the end of 2 hours, I'm able to give this to my loved ones, then I'm a fulfilled woman. A fulfilled woman.